Hey.
Hi.
What you doing here?
What are you doing here?
You got a problem? Fuck.
You got something to say? What, you got something to say?
Yeah, fuck you, asshole.
Fuck you.
Well, if you've stuck around, you're our kind of people. Welcome to the G spot. Sponsored by getting past the clitoris. So
You don't want to get past, you want to get in that shit.
yeah. I'm gonna take off the hat because we're gonna really fully expose the combination I've got going on here. In case you guys are wondering, I was going for the Captain Morgan fucking Mr. Clean vibe. Like it's a perfect balance.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Nailed it.
So
right on the head.
This guy's got something on his mind. Let's talk to old Gazy here. What's up?
Oh God. Well, what do you want to hear about my health problems or how much fucking people piss me the fuck off?
Oh, I think we got a real people in right off the bat, and everybody sucks, and everybody knows everybody sucks.
All right. Number one thing that pisses me off the most. I went to the gas station yesterday. I was just going to get gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the pumps were down, right? And this is the gas station I go to all the time in Menominee Falls. Really nice guys, know them personally, whatever. And all these fucking dickhead people were coming in, and they're like, "Oh, why the pumps are down? I'm in a hurry." Half of motherfuckers had lotto tickets. I'm sitting here just trying to get $20 worth of fucking gas, right?
Yeah.
And my friends that work there are like, we don't know what to do. Like, it's their fucking problem that, shit goes down, or the pumps go down, or heaven forbid, the credit card company goes down.
Right.
It's not their fucking problem.
Yeah.
So I pay my $20 worth of gas instead of paying at the pump. Pump's fucked up. So I give them $20 on pump 2. I'm like, okay, thanks for being cool, whatever. I'm like, yeah, you guys are my boys, whatever. And I go outside, and there's this black lady sitting out there that was in front of me in line, and I was kind of small chatting with her or whatever, and we were talking about how fucking rude people are nowadays. I mean, like, when I'm leaving Pick and Save, or I'm leaving a store or something like that, and you got somebody behind you, what do? Hold the door for them, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, hold the fucking door for them. I'm like, and like 90% of the people don't even fucking say anything. They're just like, already, like on their phone or whatever, blah blah blah. So I had this little conversation about this shit with this chick, and I brought up the YouTube video. Have you ever seen this? Of the guy at he opens the door for this lady, and she walks out and she don't say nothing. So he grabs her by the arm and he pulls her back in the store and closes the door. Like, no, fuck you. But
Yeah.
there's no decency anymore, man. Like, nobody's nice to anybody anymore. It's like everybody's just got something up their ass.
Consideration is a lost thing, and I think it's a lot due to this thing right here, our fucking smartphones and shit like that, because it's all due to selfishness. We're, by nature, human beings are selfish creatures. We're born into this world with the fucking will to survive and nothing else. Like, we're not babies trying to help other people out. We're like, no, I need fucking nourishment and whatever like that. We don't have the capability of doing that stuff yet. We need to be taught those things. So human decency becomes a thing, and then all of a sudden we reach a point in society where now all of a sudden we got social media and everything else, where you basically put up a fucking profile and all this other shit and make a brand of yourself. Everybody's a goddamn celebrity now.
There you go.
You have
brand. That's a perfect way to put it.
It's like fucking, Snapchat stories. Do you know the amount of fucking people that like put together Snapchat stories? And I can't fucking dismiss it. Like, there's people out there that have interesting stuff to show other people, and it was initially designed to share with your friends what you're doing throughout the day or whatever the fuck's going on. Then all of a sudden it became a platform for people to be like, no, I'm my own talk show host now, and I'm gonna fucking put Snapchat stories together telling people about what grinds my gears. Fucking
yeah.
Peter fucking Griffin, and they become, you know, small note celebrities because they say fucking wild shit that people are like, look at this fucking trashy ass white bitch that's fucking saying the N-word left and right. Like, you know,
Catch me outside.
I'm taking a specific example in that, by the way, but I'm not going to fucking go there. Anyways, but that's really what it comes down to, is consideration, you know. There's a reflex. You don't naturally hold the door open for somebody because you don't necessarily assume that there's someone behind you. You have to gain the reflex, like most people do, where you're about to leave somewhere and you look behind you to see if someone's following you.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't have to hold the door open. If you have a reflex to hold the door open behind you every time you open a door and there's no one behind you, you're just going to look like an asshole a lot. But
yeah,
you know, I mean, realistically, so you have to basically design a reflex in your mind to do that shit, to look behind you as you're leaving somewhere and be like, oh, okay, here you go. And it's not even like you're holding a door necessarily, even just as much as like, you know, you're opening the door and leaving it there,
holding it open just a little bit, and they're like, okay,
so they can catch the door at
just
least.
to acknowledge them that they're right behind you. I mean, that's just common fucking courtesy, and that's not taught enough, you know, for kids and stuff like that. I mean, like that same time that I went to the guest, this is just yesterday. The black lady that was in front of me, she was super cool, and we were chatting and stuff like that, and she's like, oh yeah, shit happens, you know, she understood. Everything was fine. And this fucking old white bitch comes, cuts in front of her, and she's like, oh, trying to do like her lotto ticket and stuff. I'm in a big hurry. I'm in a huge hurry. Oh, I'm late for Pilates, you know, like that kind of shit. And so the lady in front of me, she gets her shit done or whatever, and then this bitch cuts in front of me. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she looks back like, oh, I cut in front of you too. And I was like, yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's like, oh, well. And then she just does her shit and she just leaves. She doesn't say nothing. She doesn't say, oh, sorry for cutting the line. She don't give a fuck. I fucking hate people like that.
Yeah.
Like, all right, another example. I have road rage a lot, but it's more just cursing in my car and flipping people off. And, you know, my horn doesn't work in my car, so I can't really be like, fuck you. So it's more just hang out the window like, hey, fuck you, you know?
Yep.
So I was trying to find this fucking prescription, this weird prescription. I mean, we'll probably get into that later about all my health problems and shit, but this weird prescription that nobody had. So I had to go to Target for their CVS because they supposedly had the drug. So I went in. Before, when I was on my way there, I was turning. This guy was in the far left lane. It's 3 lanes.
Yeah.
There was 1 lane, 2 lane, and then the turn lane to get down into Target. Right? He fucking, I call it monkey merge when you're just like, you know, I'm just a stupid monkey. You know, it has nothing to do with anything. You're just like, oh, a monkey. I'm going to go over here. No fucking blinker, no nothing. Cuts me off. Almost runs me off the fucking road. And I was pissed because I've been looking for this prescription for like 6 days.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be on it before my newest, whatever you want to call it, my newest appointment. Yeah. I was supposed to be on this for like 6 days, and I couldn't find it. So I was in a shitty fucking mood. So I'm like, oh my god, pray this guy fucking pulls in a Target. Sure as shit, he did. Pulled in fucking 3 spots. 3 spots far of him, or farther down the line, and he was pulling his cart, and he couldn't. It was like a fucking red minivan, and he couldn't get in his spot, in and out. Finally got there, and I just sat there behind his car like this, like I was going to tear this fucker up. Like I was so pissed off. He starts getting out of his car, and I'm like, don't you know how to fucking drive? You know, this, that, blah, 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 blah. You know, I didn't call him any names or nothing like that, but I mean, I was so fucking pissed. And meanwhile, there are like people like walking behind us down the parking lot with like little kids and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And the parents are laughing, and the kids are like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Whatever." So I'm walking in and I turn around and after I cuss this guy out like hard, and and I turn around and there's like these little kids, like 7 or 8 year old kids, and I go to the parents and I'm sorry for teaching your kids some new words.
Yeah, right.
And they just laugh. They're like, don't worry about him. Like, this asshole doesn't know how to drive. He almost ran me off the road.
Yeah.
So then I go into Target, and my prescription was supposed to be sent over there, and they had no idea who I was. Like, it was never sent. And I flipped the fuck out. And then I saw this motherfucker in line, like, with his family, like, getting shit and stuff, and it was, like, the first line. He looked up at me. We did one of these. It was like... I was like, yeah, that's right, fucker. Learn how to fucking drive. But, oh, man, I was so pissed. I was so angry.
No, I can't stand that shit, man. I mean...
Common courtesy. Again,
right.
Use your fucking blinker. If you're going to go across 3 lanes of traffic and cut somebody off, I mean, if you're going to cut me off, whatever, it's going to happen. But use your fucking blinker. What the fuck? Like, how hard is that? It's a little fucking twist. Oh, I'm just going to go over here. Go over 3 lanes of traffic. Cut this motherfucker off. They ain't got a horn. Still don't have a horn.
Yeah. Oh.
Couldn't honk at him. Oh, I'm so glad he was in Target though, man. I tore that guy up. I will guarantee you that the guy's a lot better driver after I fucking tore him apart.
Yeah, he might be. Well,
goddamn fucking better be.
That's the problem with driving too. Is it's like a part of it's consideration, I think, but I think another part of it is it's just like reflexive stupidity. Like, and I've been in these positions, like when I first started fucking, getting used to driving. It's like you're going somewhere, and all of a sudden you just recognize that you missed an exit, or there's a fucking one turn only lane, and you're like, oh fuck, that's where I'm supposed to be going, but you're almost too far gone. So your reflex is like, no, this is where I'm supposed to. Your mind isn't necessarily occupied on what's around you yet, because you're still just driving. Yeah. Your destination is pretty much the first thing beyond safety, and like.
But what do you do? You go to the next exit, right?
Well, right. Once you realize that, it's like, okay, well, I might almost get in an accident if I fucking do fucking double fucking cross and all that shit. But
you don't want to hurt anybody on your mistake. I mean,
yeah.
But a lot of people just don't fucking care.
Right. I think a lot of it's a combination of like stupidity, fucking consideration, and partially I think to do with a lot of like the road systems out. There's certain places where you drive through, like Madison. I'll fucking call you out with all your fucking one-way roads and fucking holy fuck it. Are you a bitch to fucking
shit? Have you ever driven around in Minnesota?
I've never driven in Minnesota. No.
It's even worse. It's like it's like Menominee Falls. Like everything's like northwest. Like southeast, like shit like that. It's like
diagonal fucking
southeast this, southeast that. Yeah, it's a fucking pain in the fucking asshole.
Yeah, no, it's a bitch, dude. I definitely even in Fond du Lac, where I moved to, is like so much fucking dumb congestion, and it all has to do with repurposing and new roads throughout time, where they're like, oh well, let's just stack shit over here.
Yeah, let's make a roundabout that nobody knows how to yield to the left. That's another thing. How the fuck? It's a fucking goddamn roundabout. You have a yield sign, right? And it says yield to the left.
Yeah.
Okay? People are coming around to the left. You fucking wait for them. You don't fucking try to dart in front of them or whatever, or you're like, oh, I'm looking to the right. Well, I'm just gonna go this way because that's where I'm planning on going.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, man. It's a fucking roundabout. Like, it took me a while to get used to it, too. But I understand it. How come other people don't?
Yeah,
there are signs everywhere.
But I mean, realistically, they should just put damn near stop signs at those places. Like the yield sign in itself is almost, and a lot of people are probably gonna disagree with me. They're gonna be like, no, fuck you. We don't want more stop signs. We want to be able to just go. Me too. I don't want to have to stop if I don't have to stop.
That one shook up. I'm not gonna open that. Oh, no, I shook it up.
Oh shit.
Good thing I have one more.
We're good.
Oh, by the way,
Well,
this is my last night of drinking. And then I go on my antabuse, and that's it. So, having fun with my buddy here.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it big.
Nah, not too big. I don't need to flip my car.
Ooh. But no, I mean, like, the definition of a yield sign, what you're supposed to do when operating a motor vehicle, is basically being like, you're supposed to make sure that you let, you know, ongoing things or fucking whatever's got the right of way,
Yeah, the right
go
way
past you. But it's kind of a challenge of like, well, is it close enough for me to fucking, you know, if you're at a yield at just a regular intersection and there's a car way the fuck off, but it's still going in your direction, it's like, well, I'm not gonna yield for this motherfucker to drive a whole block.
Right, if you got time, then. But
so
that's
it's a thing of it. You have to kind of you have to consider the situation and decide whether or not. So people are put into a challenge situation where they're like, you know what, fuck this shit, I can make it. Like, yeah, no.
Well, if you know you can make it, I mean, that's just.
But that's up to people to decide. You know, if they think that they can operate the vehicle to, you know, get there or.
Yeah. Well, anyways, all right. So we got traffic and shitty people covered. What else you want to talk about here?
I don't have a goddamn thing on my mind, to be honest with you. Like,
I mean,
I've got things on my mind, but I'm not ready to talk about it necessarily because I haven't fully analyzed it yet. I'm not really going to speak on things that I'm not really prepared for. But let's talk about health problems.
Oh boy.
We'll let you start. You're going to be the topic organizer of today, and I'll chime in and put my own bullshit.
All right. So, I'm an alcoholic. I've been an alcoholic for a very long time.
Hi, Geza. You're supposed to.
Hi, I'm Geza. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm an alcoholic addict. Hi, Geza. Hi, Matt. Hi. Can I get a high five?
Cool.
Rock on.
So, I've been to rehab twice. Well, detox, I should say. And now I'm kind of feeling like I'm kind of losing control over it again. And it's about time that I get fixed. I mean, I get, like, to be full disclosure, disgusting. I mean, I shit like a cup of blood every single time I poop.
We measured it too.
Yeah, we did. I literally pooped in a cup, and it was about a cup and a half of straight blood. And then he drank it because we're vampires.
Mm-hmm. And I have a fucking poopish fucking blood fetish.
He likes the anal blood.
It's weird. Just, I don't even. It's not even just like I'm gay or bi. I just like, you know, bloody poop.
Well, anal blood tastes different than regular blood.
Right.
We can both agree with that.
It's got that tinge of fecal matter.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, my prescriptions ran out. I'm on an antidepressant. I'm on anti-anxiety medication. I'm also on gabapentin, which is all supposed to help with withdrawals and shit like that. So I was taking it, and my doctor refused me refills. And she refused me a refill on my antidepressant. And if anybody knows about stopping antidepressants after taking them for 4 fucking years straight, you go through some pretty hardcore withdrawals. I mean, it's like, it's fucked up. It's like psychosis. Woo! The wind's blowing. Anyways, but I mean, you go through psychosis. Like, I was literally like hallucinating. Like, I couldn't drive. I could barely get out of bed. Yeah. But she wanted to see me for, you know, a follow-up to make sure that this shit is working or whatever. So it took, what did it take? Like 8 days for them to re-up my thing before I could go in and see her, because I couldn't see her for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm not going to go 2 weeks with this shit. Like, I need to, like, operate. Like, I'm not working right now, but still, it's like, You know, I can't play video games. I can't jerk off. I can't fucking clean a cat box. I can't make dinner. You know, I can't do back handsprings anymore.
No. I mean, how are you gonna fucking live if you can't?
I know, back handsprings, man. It's like, you know, that's how you impress the chicks.
Exactly.
Back handsprings. Like, psh, look at me. Check me out.
Males that do gymnastics.
Yeah.
Vaginal fucking hall pass.
Oh my god, totally.
Yep.
Anywho, so so I finally got this prescription. I started taking it again, and I was okay, but I still had this doctor's appointment. So I went to this doctor's appointment, and my doctor basically, she came in. She's this little Indian lady. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I just call her Dr. K. It's like Dr. Kajajaru or something like that. She was real sweet. She's a sweet lady. But when I came in, she was like, she got right in my face. She goes, no bullshit. She goes, how much are you drinking right now? And I'm like, like a pint a day and like, you know, like 3 or 4 beers. She goes, you need to stop that shit. And I'm like, damn, man, my fucking doctor just swore at me. I was like, okay, all right. And she's this little lady. I mean, she's like, you know, like 3'4". I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. This bitch is gonna tear me apart. So she's like, you need to stop this, you need to stop that. So then she basically tripled all of my medications. So once she tripled all my medications, I started feeling better. My withdrawals were going away. You know, I wasn't drinking liquor every day. I mean, I've gone, I think this is my 7th day now without liquor.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. I mean,
Bravo.
Thank you. Yeah, so she just gave me straight. She's like, you need to stop this, you need to stop that. And she's like, well, what'd you have for breakfast? I'm like, nothing, beer, you know. And she wanted to do blood work.
Yeah.
Because you have to fast for, I think it's like 12 hours before you do blood work. She's like, what's the last time you ate? I'm like, 6 o'clock last night, and it was like 1:30 in the afternoon the next day. And she's like, okay, you can take your blood work. So they took like 6 vials of blood out of me and shit like that. I get a call back 3 days later saying that I'm in the mid stages of liver failure. And I'm also iron deficient, and I'm also anemic, but I think those kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
So she's like, all right, well, I want to put you in IOP. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not going back to IOP, because when I went there, it's basically, you're telling the same fucking story every fucking day to the same fucking 8 goddamn people that are there. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, it helped me at the time, but I had a great doctor. I mean, he was great, but he recently retired, so I wasn't going to go back and listen to some fucking hack tell me the same shit that I've already heard, you know?
Right, well, not only that too, but I mean, the fucking inpatient, that's, in case anybody's wondering what IOP basically entails, is it's an inpatient fucking program, so...
No, it's outpatient.
Oh, I thought inpatient was the IOP.
Intense outpatient.
Oh, okay. I thought that was what it was, never mind.
No. Well, she encouraged me to go to rehab, and I was like, no, I'm doing pretty good. I think I can do this myself, which I've been trying to do for a while. But, yeah, so she wanted to do this, wanted to do that. Up my meds. I just saw her, what was that? Fuck. What day is today?
Today is Friday.
Sure, it's October?
No.
Norm MacDonald joke. Miss Norm MacDonald. October? Yeah, so it was 3 days ago, and they reviewed my blood test, and they told me, you know, I was anemic and all this other whatever, blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, I started, you know, drinking smoothies in the morning. I'm trying to eat more, and, you know, trying to work on shit, trying to cut back on my drink and stuff like that, like gradually myself. Now she wants to put me on Antabuse, which I just got, and for I didn't tell you this, for 30 fucking pills, a month worth of Antabuse, with insurance, cost me $80. For 30 fucking pills.
Yeah.
80 $5. My dad figured it out. It was like $2.33 a pill. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So I start antabuse tomorrow. Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited, but I'm scared, honestly, because I mean, drinking's been such a big part of my life for so long, and now it's like, you know, antabuse just makes you sick if you drink.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, that's like, no more. You know,
We done.
you're done. So that's why I'm hanging out with my buddy Lutz here, having my last couple beers.
Rock on.
So it's kind of what's going on with me. I mean, livers can repair after a while, and you know, like I tell everybody, I mean, I'm not afraid to die. I don't want to be in pain when I do it. You know, it's just, you know, I don't want to be uncomfortable every day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'd rather, if I die tomorrow, great, awesome, come to my funeral. You know, piss on my grave. I don't give a shit. Throw a fucking joint and a cigarette in there, and you know, maybe a fucking Advil or something, because you know my back's gonna be hurting laying in that shit. But I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I just gotta do, and I got my dad that's been sober for, I think it's like 7 years now, so I got his support. My wife, you know, she's got, you know, she supported me too, but you know, at the same time, I mean, she's never been a drunk. She's never smoked weed, you know, nothing like that. I mean, she understands to an extent, but you know, I don't know. I just love everybody just for, you know, helping me out and giving me support and shit, and you know, I'm ready to do it. So.
Oh yeah.
And I'm ready to get my memory back so we can actually jam, because we're trying to start a band, but yet fingers will teach me something and I'll be like, wait, E chord, okay, E, 2, 3, 4, and I can't remember it. I gotta write it down. So
Yeah. Well,
but I don't know.
we want you to stick around, bud. That's how we're doing this shit. All the support in the world. And yeah, that's, I mean, for my fucking personal experience, and I can sympathize with the not wanting to have a slow, painful death. My thing is, a pain I can fucking tolerate, but what my mom went through, actually went and fucking died of liver failure, basically.
Greatest woman ever.
She I thanking you like I was a fucking cause of that. Anyways, what happens when your fucking liver fails is eventually it's a filter. Stops fucking processing all the waste and toxins that you fucking put in your body.
Right.
And when it stops doing that, it's not like it's like a, you know, thing where it's just like doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and it, you know, that those fucking toxins, it's just like it clogs up, has nowhere else to go. It's like, oh, we don't have any more capability to handle this shit, so the fluids fucking go somewhere else in your body. And my aunt, actually, who had passed from the same thing, had about 4 liters of this stuff had to have been drained from her body at a day.
Damn.
Yeah. Then these toxins, when they don't get processed through that liver and sent through your body, go into other places and fuck with other shit. And what happened to my mom within the last little bit before she died is those toxins affected her fucking brain, which basically caused like dementia, like that. Like she pretty much went from being pretty well there, you know, like she was older, so she wasn't fucking remembering every goddamn thing.
Well, she was what, like 75, something like that?
No, she was 64.
Holy
She'd have
shit.
been she would have been 65 this year. And she basically went from one day being pretty well there to the next not knowing who the fuck she was, where the fuck she was at, like anything like that. Like she wouldn't accept calls. It was right in the middle of COVID, so we couldn't even visit her. So and she was basically, she didn't have her phone set up in the place that she was at, because they made you fucking get a service.
Oh,
So
did she go into like
she went to assisted living, basically.
Oh, okay.
Between going, to and from the hospital because she needed to be monitored.
Right.
So you had to call the front desk, or like the nurse unit or whatever, and have them get the patient, come to the desk and whatever. So the nurse comes up to the patient, and she's talking to my mom like, "Hey, your cousin or niece wants to call, talk to you." And my mom's like, "What niece?" And even when she was in the hospital, and we had her phone number in the hospital, call. Wasn't expecting anybody to call her. She didn't know she had family. She didn't know who the fuck she was. So she had no reason to answer the phone. So nobody could get a hold of her.
Fuck.
Basically, fucking.
She talked to you?
Oh, she was, until she, like I said, she wouldn't answer the phone because she didn't know why the fuck the phone was ringing. So that part is kind of scary to most people, I guess, and I sympathize with that. Dementia to me is like, I don't know, I guess it would be hard for me to deal with in the terms of how it would affect other people.
Yeah.
But to all of a sudden forget everybody and everything and myself would be like, it's hopefully the end. But I don't know a whole lot of shit that I really care to know. It's like at a certain point, if your mind decides it's collapsed, I mean, fuck it, But
yeah,
I guess that to me, I can't say I know, and can say that it wouldn't be fucking terrifying, because it probably is, but I haven't been through it. So that, like, living symptoms of dying are the worst. Obviously, that's why.
That's a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it. And yeah, like, I mean, if your liver isn't working, you're basically, your body's just poisoning itself because it's not, your bad things aren't coming out like they should.
Right.
And basically you're just poisoning yourself from the inside out.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a cool thing. I fucking, at one point, and it really fucking was a telling sign for me. I've been putting so much fucking drugs and bullshit in my goddamn system that I wasn't told this, but it was very fucking physically apparent that my kidneys weren't functioning very well because my skin looked fucking pretty yellow. Like, I didn't even notice it myself because it was a slow progression, and somebody fucking walked up to me and was like, "You're fucking yellow."
Asian? You're Asian now?
Are you trying to like be a Simpson or what? Yeah. And I was like, "Oh shit," and I looked at myself and I was like, damn, like, when you start looking on the outside, and it's not like, it's a precursor to fucking rotting or whatever, but it seems like it's like you're, if your skin's turning blue or another color completely and you're not getting tan or losing a tan,
yeah,
you pretty much have a good sign that something's gonna fucking happen pretty soon. Your body's telling itself like, yeah, lights are going off, we're closing up shop for the fucking night.
Well, I've heard also that, like, kidney failure and stuff like that. I mean, I grew up with a kid. His name was fuck, his name is Teddy something. Like, tall black kid, and his eyes were just bright yellow. Like, all his whites were just bright yellow, and he's like, yeah, I got a kidney thing,
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing that you can look out for. But I mean, that's just fucking scary. And that was like 4th, 5th grade, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how he's doing, but
yeah, I mean, you hopefully be lucky enough that you only have one kidney that's about to be shot, or that you can get fucking transplant. But yeah,
get on the list, right?
Yeah, it's always a struggle, but yeah, no, I guess it's I guess my things that I've been looking out for. I mean, I gotta fucking act right and start looking out for my health a little bit more. I was in the hospital a few weeks back. I was driving my car and decided that I was gonna, play fucking Star Fox 64 and do a barrel roll 4 times, and ended up walking out of the fucking car as soon as it landed, basically, somehow or another, miraculously.
Yeah.
And had a bunch of fucking cuts and scrapes and shit like that. Still was finding glass in my shoes from like days later, but when I was in the hospital, they did all sorts of preliminary tests and shit I didn't even understand, like why they did tests on my heart and lungs, because they were like, well, we need to make sure that you don't have a blood clot.
Or internal bleeding or anything.
Right, so they were like, well, everything looks good, you got a concussion, but also, well, I have a broken clavicle too, but at the same time, you have to look out for something. You have a fucking pulmonary nodule in your lungs, and I wasn't even fucking really conscious enough at the point to ask about it. I was looking over it in my paperwork, and I looked it up on the phone, and they basically said, like, it's not cancerous or showing any signs of cancer. My blood work fucking came back fine. My white blood cell count was good and all that shit, but they said in 12 months you want to come back and make sure that the shit's still fucking kosher, but it could end up being nothing. But,
well,
I definitely don't want to continue fucking smoking cigarettes and shit and make it worse.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I'm glad this guy's okay, because this guy's my rock. I mean, he's always here for me. Anytime I need to talk to you, you're always there, unless you're asleep, but I wait till you wake up, and you always have something positive to say, and always asking about how I'm doing when, you're hurting too, and I appreciate your friendship, I really do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you too. The same fucking thing goes for this man. It's all fucking the handful of people that I can bear through my depression to fucking talk to, because that's just my problem. It's not like I'm necessarily antisocial. I end up going through bullshit and not having the fucking will to talk to people, because it's just bullshit. But I mean,
you really gotta pick the people that have been through some of the same shit, and that's what helps. That's why like the people go to IOP and stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, you're a meth head, but like, well, I'm just a drunk. Like, well, it kind of makes you feel a little bit better about yourself, but at the same time, it's like you feel bad and you feel sympathy for these people, and that's why you keep going.
There's understanding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but hey, cheers.
Cheers. Well, mine is gone, but there's a little bit.
It's alright. To Matt Lutz, I'm happy he's alright.
Oh fuck. He's a fucking Walters on his fucking new born sobriety as of tomorrow.
Can't believe I'm gonna do it.
Hey.
I'm so scared, man.
No, it's all gonna be good. Well, on that note, fucking children and gentlemen and fucking scabies and gentlemen. From all the way in the back of the food stamp line and straight out of motherfucking low cash.
You have scabies?
You don't remember that? What? The intro to fucking homeopathy?
No.
Dude, leftover crack. Scabies and gentlemen.
Oh,
from all the way in the back of the food stamp line and straight out of motherfucking low cash. Raise your crack pipes in the air for the good, the bad, the leftover crack.
Yeah, that's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get happy. Let's get happy. We're just talking about all this bummer bullshit and stuff like that. Let's talk about 9/11.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just kidding. You don't want to hear what I have to say about that bullshit.
Yeah.
But guess what? I never forgot about all the people that the American government decided to kill for money and oil. So, never forget.
Yeah. G-dubs and fucking Dick, old Tricky Dick. Tricky Dick isn't even fucking Nixon anymore. I think Nixon's fucking worn that out. He just tried to fucking fix an election. Dick Cheney was behind the whole fucking massive onslaught of bullshit. If you ever watched that movie, fucking I think it was either Dick or Vice was what it was called, where Christian Bale plays.
I remember that movie, Dick.
Oh yeah, no, that was I
rented it
the
from
one,
the porn store.
Yeah, with
It's great.
Oh, I thought
Dick.
I thought you were talking about the ones like Kirsten Dunst and that other broad that were in a news. They were writing for a newspaper or something, and it was the whole shit behind Watergate.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see it, but I remember hearing about it.
It wasn't significant enough for me to remember any detail other than the fact that it was Kirsten Dunst in it.
Yeah, well, that always helps.
I don't even think they actually worked for the reporting thing. I think they were just dumb. But anyways, yeah. So
let's talk about something happy.
All right.
So I saw a unicorn the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fucked me with its horn.
That's the best kind of unicorn. There's no fucking joy and surprises and whimsical fucking fun to be had with unicorns if they're not fucking trying to engage your prostate.
It wasn't terrible until the next day, and I took a rainbow shit.
Rainbow shits?
Yeah, it was weird, and it took 3 flushes to get it all the way down. It was thick. It was thick. I was wiping my ass. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, it looks like I just shat out a fucking box of fucking Lucky Charm marshmallows. Yeah, it's interesting, but I don't know. We cuddled afterwards, and the unicorn actually turned out to be a pretty nice guy.
Well, yeah, if the unicorn's gonna fucking have a side effect of rainbow shits, you know that's a cuddler. You know, it doesn't just fucking get up and leave after it penetrates you.
It's all out of love,
right?
You know.
I mean, why aren't there more products to make poop fucking less disgusting? I remember when I was in school. Here's a good story for you. This was when fucking YouTube was just becoming a phenomenon. Obviously, the internet had been around for long enough, but our schools, we had computers in different study hall things, and I was in a special study hall because I was not a very good student. So I was in a group of like 4 or 5 kids with a teacher, and her name was Miss Charkis, and she was basically supposed to be there to fucking supervise us and make sure we were doing the homework that we were not doing and studying up for the shit that we needed to study up for. Way too nice, pushover, just didn't give a fuck. And the software wasn't really out there to prevent kids from going on to bad sites. Like, it was just like the most that they had was like there'd be one person in the computer lab with some sort of fucking software to view all the other screens on a big screen, like a security camera thing. It's like,
and you went to unicornporn.com, didn't you?
No, this is what happened. So I had a bunch of interesting classmates, and one kid who was sitting next to me decided to fucking get me in on his fun. He was like, dude, check this shit out. I look on the fucking screen, and this isn't a fucking video that's demonstrating this stuff. It's literally like a page of an advertisement for this product. And all I'm seeing are these things that basically look like gauges, like for an ear.
Yeah.
They're rigid on the inside.
Oh, let me get it. It was butt plugs, weren't it?
It was a product called, I don't know if it's out there anymore. I don't even know if it worked because I can't fucking process the fucking logistics of this thing. It was called a turd twister.
What the fuck?
What it was, and now again, they didn't demonstrate this shit. There wasn't any, before and afters or shit like that. But these were like gauges that were kind of like butt plugs, basically. But it was, meant to fucking be positioned in your fucking sphincter, and had like interesting designs on it. So like, you remember that fucking Play-Doh toy you had when you were a kid that would squeeze out, spaghetti or a star or something like that?
Yeah.
For your poop. They had like a star one. They had the spaghetti ones.
It was like a suction thing. Like you stuck it in and just sucked your poop out of your butt.
No, it just was literally, it was a gauge. It was about, I don't even know what the dimensions were on these things. They didn't have anything to scale it on there.
Quadruple zero, just like.
I think it was
like
honestly,
a horse asshole.
I think it was something that was just like a fucking a ad for a product that was designed to just be funny, and they didn't actually make it because it just doesn't make. We didn't order one, to.
Yeah, right. You ordered two.
I wanted to, but I mean, it didn't make any sense to me because I'm thinking to myself like, how is this thing gonna not be shit out? Like.
Wait, it goes all the way in?
No, it's just, I don't know what the fuck it does.
So it's not like a butt plug where it's like a little heart or anything like that. It's like trying to make your butthole look a little cuter.
I would assume
it's like something that you just stick in there and you swirl it.
I would
put
assume
it on the end of a drill and just pull your poop right out.
Like I said, it was designed like a gauge, so it's got like a little ridge on the inside all the way around, or what's the terminology I'm thinking of? Like it's basically got this thing going on, so it's like.
Wait. So it's like this.
What?
And you put that can in your butt.
Basically, like I'm assuming that your fucking sphincter's supposed to go around this and basically hold the fucker in. Like I don't know where else.
Let's try it real quick.
No.
Alright.
Oh boy.
We're gonna see.
We're getting really fucking.
When's it supposed to twist?
It's not twisting. You're the one twisting.
Oh wait. Oh, I'm supposed to twist.
Twist. I have no idea.
I'm gonna twist.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna twist. Go all the way around. Hold on. All right. I gotta make sure this product works.
Well. We're as you can tell, we're getting desperate for content here. So. On behalf of G-Balls Walters and fucking Matt the fucking butt pirate Lutz, got a little captain in you?
I think it worked.
Do you want some?
Smell. I think it worked. Taste test too?
We're gonna fucking sign off here.
We're signing off?
Yeah.
We're not even done.
We
just did the butthole twist.
40 minutes worth of content, so. Yeah. We'd have to break this thing down. Dude, I wouldn't watch us for 5 minutes. I'm sick of looking at myself now.
Well, I don't look at the camera because I don't.
Alright, fellas.